And after that, turning the wheel of time and snake bite cure and all such. Today, I am going to tell you about my own experiences, rubbings with the astral world. The life after death. All of us will have to undergo that if you don't do a course correction. So, it is a topic which everyone should be concerned about. Life after death and before the next birth is not as smooth and rosy always as Dr. Michael Newton narrates, establishes in his work, Journey of Souls. It is part of the picture, I think. Much of it is left untouched, unexplored. For some people, life after death seems to be pitiable, horrible. With one case of exorcising, taking away the occupied soul from a living body, exorcising, with seeking a cure, remedy for such a situation, I had knocked some doors, approached a few people who specialize in this affair. My first-hand knowledge. That is why I want to share with you. One case I have already introduced to you, that Central Travancore, Central Kerala, Ramakrishna Mission Swami. And with his help, some grandmother sought the help of a grandson. In some exorcist's place, it is sort of a hospital. And he cures people, he accommodates them also, serious cases. One dead lady murdered by her husband by kicking at her groin. She appeared in a young man's body, and he is under trouble. He has come for exorcising. When she appeared, presented herself, she was demanding water. Whatever this third person asked, she only insists on getting some water. While she died, it seems, she was begging for water and nobody gave her water. And I wonder whether she still goes on in that condition, in need of water. Think. On that same young man, well dressed, clean dresses. He had another occupant also on his body, one more. He picked up a tip of his dhoti, the thing he wears, a clean one, good one, white, showed us and said, "Look at this, it is torn and tattered. I am ashamed. I was imprisoned for 60 years. Now I get out. I cannot go in front of people. Give me some cloth." This requirement of cloth, that pains me. I have to tell you my own story, interaction with my, how will I say that, my dead father and elder brother. And that story is kept for a later time. Now I invite you to another scene, another story. People, a whole village, dying of hunger decades ago, still in that, going about as astral bodies in the same famished condition. A little background to this story is needed. Long ago, maybe some 70, 80 years back, on the border of India and Nepal, in between some introduction is required. There was a weekly newspaper in India, very famous, influential, and that used to provide columns to discuss threadbare, controversial issues and doubtful beliefs and all such. Very many learned and famous people used to write on those columns, express their opinions. Blitz was the name of that paper. It was very well known all over India and perhaps wherever Indians live and also in the world. One envoy, a diplomat, working in Nepal, Indian diplomat stationed in Nepal, was returning home in India, and there were no planes, no buses even, no train in that area. He had to walk 1 or 2 days, I think. The story was narrated by him, that diplomat. He had to cover hills and valleys, footpaths were only available. And one day, by about 10 o'clock in the night, when he reached some place with a few rocks on opposite sides of the pathway, he settled down there and opened his packed food and started eating. There was some mild moonlight also. He was alone, and when he started eating, opened his package, he started hearing hushed up murmurings, blabberings, wailings from all around. There was no human beings available around. Some remnants of some old settlements were there in that valley that he knew already, and no living beings at present. He ate a portion of the food, and one portion he left there and got up and walked. The noise behind was louder, and so he turned back, and he was astonished to see that so many light spots jumped from the rock opposite to where he sat, jumped to the rock where he was eating. So many pounced upon the rock, and their sound was loud. Phuke Chun was the slogan uttered by these light balls that pounced upon the rock. Phuke Chun, I am hungry. That is the meaning in that Pahadi language. I am not extending the story anymore. This is the story he wrote in that paper Blitz, in proof that astral bodies exist. Human beings after death exist in astral form somewhere, whether it is here or somewhere else, as Michael Newton says. Just before the end of British rule in India, there was a horrible famine throughout India, particularly in Bengal, and skeletons piled up in Bengal. A little before that, China had a horrible famine, and people it seems ate the dead bodies of their own children. Think. The novel Good Earth depicts this Chinese famine.